What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Thanks so much for being here with me. Happy 11/11. There's something to numbers. I was a little harsh yesterday. Astrologically, I don't really call this a big portal day while simultaneously being sandwiched in between some portal days. So, you know what? I'll give it some credit. And I pulled up this chart and yeah, November 11th, 11/11, it just happened to be for 11 a.m. And then I looked over here and I was like, oh, look at these nodes. 11/11 minutes a day in transit. And then I was like, oh, look, Regulus and Spica are both at 11 north and 11 south, respectively. So, and then, oh, 1/1 for the sun and the moon. So, you know what? I'll say there's definitely some of those double sun energies out there. And I think this is where, yeah, we're coming face to face with ourselves. Yesterday was a big checkpoint with Mars Mercury meeting, square the moon and Saturn in Aquarius. So give yourself a pat on the back. Don't be too overly critical. It definitely was a time of making choices for your passions, your connections, and what's really true to your soul. And some of those decisions could have been hard. Give yourself some love. Don't be too critical of yourself today. And 11 is a master number. It's a highly spiritual number. So if we're going this route, we want to be very in tune with our highest frequency. We want to be very in tune with ourselves, love ourselves, be serious about our path and what we desire. But at the same time, give yourself some credit and some love for getting as far as you've got. And we talked about the heart chakra energy with Leo yesterday too. So, and then it's also 2/1, so it makes a 2 if we're looking at the 11 too, and it's emotional. So there could be a high emotion, that we're feeling today if we're doing some numerology, which I'm definitely no numerologist, I'll be honest, but I do some planetary numerology, and that's the message I got. So happy 11/11. We do see the sun on this Thursday at 19 degrees. That makes a net 10. That's a manifestation day. This is what you can create with what what maybe you have had to make decisions about, or be, making probably intense sort of decisions, or just how you got through this checkpoint of life that we just, went through together, and what that means in your own personal life for this highest version and structure of yourself. And, in some ways with Saturn, there's a legacy to it. So what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? And have you been moving in that direction? Yesterday could have tested that. But I think today is a big day to really get into our deep well of desire with that sun at 19. And, we can create these things. So here we are. Let's create. We're seeing the sun 1 degree away from the trine over to Neptune. Got to have compassion. Definitely got to in sensitive times, be compassionate for yourself. In intense times, be compassionate for yourself. Have some unbound love. Have, a deep desire to pull from the collective unconscious of, creative potential, and see that everybody's kind of on their own path, trying to really do the best they can. You know what I mean? So we got to give ourselves some, unbound love, show it to others. Boundaries are always important, but and even if we have to make decisions regarding people in life, it's not so much about, forgetting that they're on a journey too, and to have a little bit of compassion for other people. I think that this is also, definitely tuning us into some very psychic energy, very water-based stuff, so very emotional. But it's like, what do we really want to create on a high spiritual level? What do we really want to create from a high desire level? And Mars is done with the square to Saturn. Mercury's coming to 9 degrees. Big checkpoint in our life about all these desires, and what we ultimately, from the deepest part of our soul and our spiritual essence in this life, what we're trying to connect fully to and make happen and bring to life. I think today's a great day. We can create. So it does have some good energy today. I like that. We're going to see the moon with Jupiter. I really like that too. We can maybe feel slightly disconnected from our emotion, but at the same time, it's maybe because we're trying to find where we want to put our emotion all in and expand, and see what we can open up to and what we can connect to fully what different paths are gonna, really bring us what we're looking for in our personal life. What groups of people, what friends we have are helping us really move in a direction that, we feel good about, they feel good about. There's a good merger here, and we are going to see the sun and the moon make their square today, first quarter square of this Scorpio moon lunation. And, the sun's starting to build up to a square to Jupiter too, but I think it's a good emotional checkpoint to see what you really want to connect with. Like, are you taking responsibility for the frequency you want to have? Are you figuring things out? I think we can be very smart today if we're in a place of, really being connected to our inner desires, our inner truth, on a deep note. And gosh, I think that there really is some energy right now of like unbound creative potential if we're connecting fully to a path that we want to create, that we want to bring to life, that we kind of want to invent, or that we have been inventing. And if that's still showing up for us in a good way, or in a way that we are passionate and enjoy, or lights us up from the heart. So, I do like that energy a lot. And Venus is going to come to 6 degrees of Capricorn today. Venus does like that 6th degree. So I think that there is this level of trying to relate to the best connections in life, that we are sort of, who's showing up that we're connecting to in life that's reliable? Are we reliable? So maybe questions that we have to answer within ourselves, as maybe we're being a little critical in what we want to create or what we ultimately want to merge with. It is interesting too. Scorpio is this sign of merging, which, and the sun's starting to trine Neptune and Pisces is like everything's connected. There's no need to merge with Pisces, because you already are part of this infinite consciousness of this, bigger connected universe. And Scorpio is like kind of where we come face to face with this deep desire to merge with something, which almost signifies that we don't have it already. Whether it's a spiritual merger with source, whether it's merging with another person, or what we want to put our energy into right now. I think it's important to remember that when it comes to creating, we're not so separate. Like, that's separation is part of our dualistic reality that we're in, but at the same time, on a really high note, it's kind of an illusion. So we almost want to really, to unlock our creative potential, realize that we're not separate from our desires. They just might not be here yet. But if we really are in it, and Moon, Jupiter, if we really believe and feel these emotions and these beliefs about what we can manifest and bring to life, they can show up. And a lot of it can come through people and relationships, I think, today, as we're in this time. The moon's really not going to be making a lot of aspects after it meets with Jupiter, kind of void off course. It'll sextile Eris in Aries, but it's not really what I would consider a big deal today. I think today's almost like a little bit of a breather, and like really coming back to, we might not necessarily have everything we want, or the relationships or the connections we want, but does that mean that we're separate from them? Or do we just need to make pivots, make moves with Mercury, Mars still together and done with the square to Saturn, that we really want to connect to fully, that's holding, a high level of, that we want to commit to at a high level for the deepest passions? And Mercury will be in quincunx to Chiron. So, that brings some more of the critical, ness of ourself and our direction in life. And, I think we have to dig up into a deep well within ourselves to have courage to recognize that we are individuals, part of a collective, that we are individuals that can create and came here to pioneer for our desires. And maybe we can come face to face in some kind of strange way that shows us how, these things can actually transform and manifest in our life with a strong faith, a strong belief, a strong amount of love, and realizing that separation is part of the illusion of our physical world, while simultaneously being very real. We live in a physical world. So I think we're hyper aware maybe of our desires today, but realizing that, you know what, we can create. We have all this potential. We have all this feeling within us that we can use. And if we're channeling that feeling into a future that we really want to expand today, why not? Why couldn't we do that? There's these laws in the universe for a reason. I think that there's maybe more to them than, what some of it, is taught to us, or put out on the internet. It's not easy to just fully believe and feel that we're not separate to bring something in. But maybe today's a good day where we can, really practice that consciously, and also have a lot of compassion for those who may be having a hard time. And if you're having a hard time right now, to give yourself that compassion and love, and to not be too critical of what maybe you don't have yet, because maybe you can get that to come in, or maybe it's these decisions at this checkpoint in life that are going to start to bring this inspiration or this unbound creative potential in. And yeah, it's a pretty cool 11/11 day. So I hope that, if yesterday was a rough one with that heavy square that we had with Mars, Mercury, and Moon, Saturn, that today's maybe a little breath of fresh air, and like, oh, there's some hope out there, and you know what, I can move forward. Like, I don't have to feel like I have to stop what I love, or that I have to do something that I am not fully invested in. So I definitely wish that for everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. Card for the day is the Moon card. Wow, we were talking about emotion. We were talking about a lot of that. It's there's changes in life. There's the tides are going up and down. We can be fully in something 1 second, and then it can pull back, and we can be a little disconnected with this Aquarius moon too. But ultimately, hopefully, we're putting our emotion and our feeling into what we truly believe our future can manifest, what we can truly bring into our life without feeling so separate, but embracing change when it comes, embracing every emotion that we feel. And maybe it's a good night to go look at the moon and just be like, yeah, maybe I can shoot the moon with my goals and my ambitions and my passions and go all in. So it could be an emotional day. I think we have a lot to feel. We're doing a lot of work. And it's okay to feel. It's good to feel. What does that mean to you? What are the feelings that you're feeling today? How can you bring in more of what you want by embracing the good things that you want to feel? I love you all very much. I hope you have a lovely 11/11. I hope you have a beautiful Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.